All right. Hey, thank y'all for tapping in the Street Baller Pro. It is the ambassador and my man Ballaholic. We are back with Frankie D, Made Rich. So this is great, right? Because Ballaholic, we talked about this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Last time we had Frankie on, we said we're gonna come up with a segment, Money Talk. And so here it is, the first episode to basically every Monday or the fourth Monday of the month is going to be Money Talk Monday with Made Rich. All right, so we're honored to have Frankie, the owner, founder of the company, and she's going to be here to help get it started, and we're going to keep building it. But just letting y'all know, she may have different guests, different people that's going to be on, so it's not going to always be her. So we just want everybody to understand our segment, how it's going to work, and so we just want to say thank you, Frankie, for coming back and just man being a blessing to us financially. You know what I mean? More than financially, but just saying financially. So how are you doing, Frankie?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I had so much fun last time. That's
Yes.
why I was out of town and I hit him up and I was like, "When's the next one?" Like I'm ready to
Mm.
go. So good to be here. We're good. We just came back from LA. We had basically like the Oscars of our business of 2023 stuff, and so we came back. Great awards, great accolades. We're happy for our clients that we already have and future clients to be able to show them the trophy's kind of cool. The trophy's a thing. Like even in our industry, we get trophies. So we're excited about that and the big things we'll do in 2024. So this year's
So
pretty great.
you said you got, I believe you said 2 trophies, right?
Yeah.
What,
Yes.
what 2 trophies?
So we set a record. Nobody's ever done this before, but we got MVP, which is most valuable player, as in us, how we help families and we help communities and things like that. So we got the MVP award for that. And we also got MVT award, so most valuable team. And that's not just us being able to change people's lives, but it's all of the brokers and the business professionals that we have working with us as a whole. Right. To be able to get that award. So we are super proud of that. And I don't know. Thanks to God, right? Just super blessed.
I'm like,
No, that's cool though. Getting 2 awards, no individual awards.
We got individuals, so we actually placed in all 7 categories that we got, and we got 2 number ones, which was really cool. So we got individual awards too, but to me, like the all around, the MVP is like the award that you want to leave there with, right?
Right. Yep. So does anything happen after? Do you guys get like a bonus, or do your numbers go up in some way of fashion or form? Just like in the sports, they get an MVP, they get bonuses.
Right.
Yeah, they get bonuses. Yeah.
So in the finance industry, we're lucky to get bonuses like pretty often on regularly. So it really is, you get bragging rights for a whole year, right? I mean, that's big. That does a lot for your business as well. It makes your past clients just even more confident in what you're doing for them. And then it gives us, the rights to be able to, tell our future clients like, hey, you're in good hands. So I think that's priceless. That's better than any like monetary bonus that we could get.
And that's the best. And I think you guys winning, that's even the easiest, the coolest, best way to sell your brand and your business. Like if I was working with y'all, I was like, wait, hold up. The people I'm financing with, they just won MVP and MVT. Oh yeah, let me promote this to the rest of the neighborhood. Hey, y'all better get on. We're winning right now. They taking care of me. Get on. They just won 2 awards. So oh yeah, for sure. That's a commercial.
That's what I'm saying. We got to put a commercial together because that is true. I mean, that even for us to sit there and say, okay, we're going to be doing this program. Here's our new partner. And here's the things that we're doing. Now, even for us, we can sit there and say, hey, here's the accolades that they have won. This is what we're bringing to the table. And they're offering their services for free, hey, let me just talk to you. Let me see how I can help you. And so I think that that's something that is major just within itself. How many teams do you have?
Ooh, so we are all around the US. I think personally in our organization, we're at, I think, 57. I wanted to break 60 by the end of February. So we're doing interviews right now, but we're going to break 60 at the end of this month. And my goal is to have 100 licensed business professionals by the end of 2024. So massive expansion. If we're doing something right, we might as well duplicate it as many times as we can. So that is what our goal is for 2024 is massive expansion.
Oh, wow. Wow. No, I like that. And how, so I'm gonna need some of your services, because I was thinking about, like, we was contemplating about moving. Well, we're gonna move, right? So when you was talking about owning a house to renting, those options, I want to sit down and talk about all those options because
Right.
I'm looking to, move and I want to use my dollars wisely, So I guess I make that, I guess, get on your calendar for that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And it's good that you come to these conversations because the cool thing about our team is I have one of the best mortgage professionals in Washington actually that
Oh,
partners with us. So it's really cool because typically people have to go to a finance person and then they go to a mortgage person, then they go to a real estate person, and they're all not working together. So we try to have that on our team where the mortgage professional is telling you, okay,
that's
this is the steps that you got to do to buy a house or to be eligible to buy a house. And as me as the financial professional, then it's like, all right, so here's how we break it down to bite-sized pieces. How do we make that goal attainable? And we love working together because what we do, it helps people get to their goals more efficiently, and and they have a better experience when everybody knows each other. We're all getting along and we're all working together towards that one goal. Like, it makes it fun for everybody. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to send you my calendar link.
please do, please do, because we were just been looking and talking and said, okay, what are we gonna do? So I was like,
Right.
hey, I knew I had this segment with you, and I was like, you know what? I told her I was going to use her. And so once again, you know what I mean? Look, even the ambassador is using this company. You know what I mean? So I got to put the shot out. She won awards. So it's not just her giving back to the community and being a partner, because she's also supporting what we're doing with our youth program. But it's the very fact that it's something that I need. You know what I mean? It's a real resource that is needed out there. And I don't know where to go. Like, I have the GI Bill, or the veterans,
Oh yeah,
GI,
the VA loan.
not the VA loan. That's it. Yes, yeah, I know. I didn't already went to college. I'm trying to go backwards, but the VA loan. So those are the things that I'm clueless about. So just to give you a little info ahead of time, so when you send me that link,
Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
I got you. I think everybody needs that type of guidance, and that's what we're happy to provide. Like, nobody's ever really gone very far with their health without seeing a doctor before. At least get a checkup, see where you're at, see where where your stats are with everything, so you know how to move forward with things. Like, my health was the best after I saw my first naturopath. Like, how many tests they did, and they found out what vitamins I needed, like down to like what I needed to eat more of and less of. Like, this is the same thing with your finances. People really need to understand that, hey, none of us are professionals that didn't go to school or get a license for this. So it's okay not to know things, but it's not okay to not go to a professional to have help them guide you in that way, right? So it's everybody needs it. Just get a good checkup and either say, hey, there's a lot of stuff I got to change, or hey, I'm doing pretty well, let me just do better this year, right? So you're not the only one. I think we talked about that, Ballaholic, last time too. You're like,
We
I've never
did.
told anybody about my money.
Right. No, I was just thinking that too. Right? We said that. But I mean, now that's good though, because you just never know who might need that financial help or advice. And some people are honestly scared to come out because they might say, I know I ain't got it. I know I ain't got it. I know I don't have it. I don't have the funds. I know I don't have the resources. But if they actually just try and listen to someone like you, who's very concrete and vivid about their situation, the way the financial business works, and how much money to have to be eligible for to get a home, all of that, and they need it. You know what I mean? And like I said, a lot of people are just scared to talk about it sometimes, which I get it. It sometimes can be embarrassing, frustrating, everything. We don't know what people are going through. So it's just like, it's a certain time when they feel like they'll talk about it, or they talk about it with certain people, but not someone like you. You know what I mean? So
and people just need to not be embarrassed by it, because I love statistics because it gives us a better perspective into reality, right? And here's a really scary statistic: 60% of Americans don't even have $500 in their savings account to cover an emergency.
Yep.
That's true.
It's a scary statistic. So if you know that 60% of people in America are at that point or worse, then you shouldn't feel upset about any situation that you're talking about, right? So to me, it's, if you feel a little shame in your financial, and where your portfolio is or your financial health, like, look up some statistics, because they're going to make you a little bit more comfortable with saying what you're going through out loud. But like, if you don't open your mouth, then how are you going to get the help that you need?
And that's a great point, because I always say, when I feel like I'm like stressed out or something's not going my way, I always think about someone else that's in a worse situation than I'm in.
Right.
So you just said it, like, if you're just hurting financially, look up some statistics and see how much people are in your situation, even worse, or just the average American. You fit that void if you feeling that way, or if it's like that, you're not the only one feeling that way. So no, that's another way to look at it, and keep people, level-headed and, positive and down to earth, that, everything can be fixed as far as the financial status go, because you're right. The average person, it's tough, especially for an emergency. Like I keep saying, if I was to be done today with basketball, everything, would I have enough to cover everything? No, and I wouldn't. And that sucks. Like, I'm talking about, even if I stopped working at my job, like, would I be okay? And I know I wouldn't be. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that I always think about too. Like, okay, I got savings, but all of a sudden now I got my car. All of a sudden now my kids. All of a sudden now, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hungry. I don't feel like cooking tonight. Let me go. You know what I mean? A lot of different little stuff. The toiletry, all of that it all adds up. You know what I mean? So it's just like, man, I think I needed like 2-3 different saving accounts, but it's just, making the most out of the matter, and just, figuring it out, because it's tough. Because in that one time I'm stressed out. You know what? I need to get away. I need a vacation. I need to get away, but I don't have the funds for it. It's going to feel so good when I have to say, you know what? I'm finna get away. I look at my accounts like, I can do this. I can go here. Let me give me a room and chill out. You know what I mean? And that's I'm not doing it for the sake for that, but I'm just saying, in an emergency, you know what I mean? And that's where I think a lot of us, needs to, it's tough, but, a lot just needs to be worked on, especially if you had a family full of 4 or 5 kids, and, you know what I mean? And maybe being a single parent, like, I think about that too, like, single parents, like, dang, because I know my mom was a single parent, and I saw her, like, all of our birthdays were like a month apart. So March, April, May. And she would celebrate all of our, and we only had one, so I only got one sister, so she celebrated all of our birthdays on her birthday. And that's how much my mom was struggling. I saw that. I was like, man, I still remember that to this day. So it was like, I get it. Yeah. And that's why I, even with doing, the Money Talk Monday, but when he mentioned you, I was like, oh yeah, for sure. It was just so understandable last time we had this conversation, but now just even more, just hearing more stuff, it's just so, like, you just got to understand it, and just even go back to something that we all may have been through as a kid, or seeing our parents kind of, not struggle, but sacrifice for us, you know what I mean, to get to where we are today, like you, Frankie D, and you, Coach Ashley, you know what I mean? Our parents did something to sacrifice us for financial reasons, for us, or for our siblings or whatever, you know what I mean? So that's a big step, man, in financial. And again, San Francisco is on the verge of, I don't know, maybe coming back up slowly but surely, but it's really bad right now. Like, even my job is at its 10% budget cut. So it's a lot that's gone. You can't even drive down Market Street anymore. A lot of businesses are gone. Our mall, one of our main malls in San Francisco, is shut down. They want to turn that into a soccer stadium now. which is Westfield Mall. Yeah. But what I can say is that I think the NBA All-Star Game is going to be in San Francisco in 2025, and they're also bringing a WNBA team to San Francisco in 2025. So the revenue is going to go back up, depending on the percentage. I mean, with a lot of stuff going on, you got the violence, you got the car break-ins. Now they're letting people walking into Walgreens take over $100 to $1,000 worth of stuff, and they're not doing anything. So it's like it's going up, but it's like go up, then straight, go up, then go down. It's like, you know what I mean? Until I don't know, until something happens financially with the city, and San Francisco is not that big. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. It's these businesses are leaving, the restaurants are leaving. That's what you know. When the visitors come in, that's what they're going to sightsee to these places. But these places are not there anymore. You know what I mean? So the visitors are now getting targeted. They're getting robbed. They're getting, they're getting scammed. So it's like, yo, I'm not coming to San Francisco. You know what I mean? So the revenue goes all the way down, man, and things get pricey. You know, the new, market for renting houses and, all, you know what I mean? All kind of different stuff, man. It's just like, and then everyone leaves the city. So it's just like, everything is going down. It's going to be tough. It's going to take a long process to get it back to where it was, maybe right before the pandemic. But like you always say, Coach Ashley, everything with numbers. It's all add up to numbers and percentages. It's all numbers. So I always just think about like, man, I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen to the city. I know we're not going to go, nothing bad's going to happen, but I think we're close on the verge of maybe going broke. Because even for a lot of these programs, they were promoting the programs for the kids. They're starting to take them away because there's not enough people. And the gyms that are all in the city or the rec and park department, you can go in for free. It's not like everywhere else in the state or even in the country. You can go in and play for free from 9 to 5 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can actually do that at a lot of our rec and park gyms out here in the city. Other than that, LA Fitness, YMCA, Boys and Girls Clubs, you gotta pay it like a month. You got some kind of monthly fee or something like that. Yep. So If it doesn't, and they're looking like, if we got 2,000 people coming in a week, we could create something like that, like a play pass, or because they're getting upset. Like, if there's 2,000 people coming in there, at least 35% of the people we can create a play pass so we can create programs for these kids. If that doesn't happen, then we're going to have to start charging people to come in, which we don't want to do because we all pay our taxes. You know what I mean? We all pay our taxes. It's tough. It's a struggle sometimes, especially living in San Francisco because it's really expensive. So it's hard. So every time for me, I know it's like every time I see something about the lottery and on my mind, I always say, yo, just do it. If you see it, if they say, if you see it, man, you just got to do it. Just try it. It's like, you know what? I don't want to get caught up in that, man. I don't want my mind to start thinking, money, financial stuff. I don't want to start getting in that. And that's like that first loop in the hole. And then all of a sudden, damn, what if I win, I get this? Or I just didn't want to get there. You know what I mean? Because something like that, it could trigger it, right, Frankie? It could trigger anything, something like it financially. So.
But see, all of the things that we talk about that we want to win the lottery, right? Or win the lottery like $1 million, or that's what we initially think of. But to get to $1 million, it's $500 a month for 30 years at an 8% interest rate will get you $750,000.
Wow!
Altogether, you saved $180,000, but by putting it somewhere getting compound interest, you now have $750,000. There's other ways to get to what, extreme, what is it called? When you get something just right away, right? And you don't really think about, okay, what is the process to get there? Like right now, if I told you this statistic on a budget, you're going to be like, yeah, I don't follow that statistic. Here's a budget, what your budget should be on how much income you make. 50% should go to your must-pay bills. No more than half of your income should go to your rent, your electric, your phone bill, the must-pay bills. If we look at what our spending is right now, we all are like paycheck to paycheck, right? Like most of our income is what our bills are. 30% is supposed to go to what you want, And then 20% is supposed to go to you and your future. And, that's the method of paying yourself first. But who does that? Like, if I ask you right now and I'm like, do you pay your rent? You're like, of course. Well, do you pay your future? Why is that not as important? Because the situations that we're in right now is because we didn't pay for our future back and save for our future back in the day.
No.
So we're never going to get to a different place or have a different outcome if we don't change exactly what we're doing right now, right? What you did got you to where you are, but where you want to go, right? Who you are right now is not going to get you to where you want to go. So those are certain things that we have to change. But that's a really hard statistic for some people to swallow. They're like, save 20% of my income? Like, how is that possible? Number one, though, the easiest way to get more income is to get another job. And if I told you that 69% of people that voluntarily left their job for another job were paid higher wages than their previous job.
Wow. Is that like a national statistic?
Yeah, that's a statistic. 69%. There was a pay increase in the job that they left voluntarily. So I don't know. My dad, when I was younger, always told me the best time to look for a job is when you have a job.
And you got a good point, because right now all the fast food chain restaurants are like, you getting $21 an hour, I think, like at McDonald's. So that's right. Oh, that's so crazy.
We don't have a pension anymore. That's the reason why we stayed at jobs for a long time, right? Was to get the pension. But if we don't have the pension anymore, then what is the loyalty worth if you're getting paid less than what you can get somewhere else?
True.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's a big thing with income. Like, can that statistic work with your budget? 50% to bills? Yeah, absolutely. Get a higher paying job, or have a side hustle, or learn how to invest, because that money gaining interest is the same as getting another job.
Right. And that's crazy, because a lot of people are lazy and they will not do that. And I think after the pandemic made people like a lot of people really lazy, or just like late on stuff. You know what I mean? And you're right. A side hustle, something else that's going to get them, because it just sucks when you just can't do that. It's like, it's heart falling. It's just like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? And
if every day you don't put effort into getting better at something, that how does anything get better? Just like you guys playing ball. If you don't practice, then how do you get better? You don't. Every day that you don't practice, or every day that you don't put another foot forward, you're taking 2 steps back.
Right.
So we have to think about that when it comes to the way that we live with, income and all of those things. What are you doing with your money every single day that your future self is thanking you for? What step in your finances are you taking every day? That could be as simple as taking 15 minutes, 20 minutes to read, a book like this one right here, Power of Zero. This teaches people how to retire with zero taxes, paying zero taxes. Like us putting, just a little bit of time and effort into getting our financial futures, better or healthier. Like, it takes effort too. It's a skill. Yeah, it's a skill. So every single day, just learning something. That's why we try to do as many webinars as we can, little lessons here and there, to help kind of spark people's interest in, oh, dang, I think I really got to learn more about that. Right. And then that hopefully motivates them to do some self-research or talk to a professional, or however they want to get the knowledge. But at least they're trying to make their situation better. And
it does make you feel good. I remember at one point, I was saving. I'm still saving, but at one point I was really saving, and it just felt good. Every time I looked back at my saving account, I'd be like, damn, like it felt good. Yeah. Like I did like, it's like, I'm not even spending that. Of course I'm not. But the fact that I could just look there and be like, you know what? Yeah. Okay, if something would happen, I could, you know what I mean? It made me feel good. So just even something like that can make your health better. You can make your, you know what I mean? So it's, it it is the root of all evil, but I mean, it still can make or break you. I mean, that's just one of the sayings too, right? Money can make or break you.
Well, the money part is the love of money, not money now. So it's okay to have money. Don't let it be the lover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, not at all, Coach. Nah. I ain't gonna let it do that. But
that scripture goes basically because see people take it out of content and be like, money is the root of all evil. It's not. It's not.
That was one line of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Love of money. Right. So if everything we're doing is to get more money, love is for money to gain more, then that's but to have it and use it wisely, that's a gift. That's what God, you know what I mean, give us that opportunity. And that's what Frankie does. That's one of the things that is so dope is to, it's one of those, you just got to be 100, right? As we say, oh, we so quick to be 100. Be honest about your situation. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter, old, young, whatever it is, just look at your situation and say, man, like she said, how am I going to change from yesterday, you know what I mean, today, tomorrow, the future, what is it going to look like? And that's one of the things as I've gotten older and you look at life and God grow you up, you begin to be transparent and say, look, man, I don't know everything about money. I haven't been taught. I didn't really care. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. You know what I mean? When you're younger, I was ex-military too and an athlete. Just money, you don't really think about it, right? And you're young. You're just living, if you want to say. And so now it's things where I'm like, okay, I have a grandson now. You know what I mean? I have kids. I'm not getting younger. I'm getting older. So how do I take the money I do have and where to invest it? How do I invest? I don't know where to invest it. So that's the dope part about having this segment and not just the segment, just what Frankie does, what Made Rich does is to help us to get that understanding. So, because I'm planning on getting some money. Hey, Ball Holly, this show we got, everything we got. I'm just saying, brother. I'm just saying, we're gonna get some money. I just need guidance, Frankie, on how to be wise with the money and how to invest it that it may increase and make money on top of itself. Instead of me constantly trying to work hard to make it, why can't the money make money for itself?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I think we talked about that the last podcast of, wealthy thinkers think a different way of just, the average, person with money, right? Like we talked about how most people think income, that's what you use to pay your bills. But if I told you you couldn't spend your direct income that you earn from your job to pay your bills, you had to cycle it through some type of investment first. And then the second generation basically of that money is what you paid your bills with. What would you do? That's what wealthy people think of.
Yeah.
That's what leads the difference of, regular people living paycheck to paycheck versus wealthy people that have passive income and have other streams of income is because they do that next step that a lot of us are too lazy to even think about or figure out because the first way to get income was hard enough. Right?
Right.
Like, I'm tired already from the first way of income. Like, don't make me think of another step if that's just gonna, be another way for the money to filter through. But what if we were taught like that?
Right.
What if coming out of high school that somebody taught us, hey, don't use your direct income to pay for your bills. You have to get another source of income. Wow. It would be different. We're programmed that way. This way that we're in survival mode, like, oh my gosh, income has to pay the bills, but wealthy people don't think that way.
Right.
They don't touch it. Don't touch the bills with that money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't touch anything that you want with that money. Find another way to cycle it through. So that's either going to be through investment, it's through businesses, it's through real estate, right? Those investments aren't fun money that everybody thinks. That's literally their way of income to pay their bills.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't think of it that way.
Right. And they don't. And like you said, all of that is a business, from having another job, your side hustle, what you just said, all of that is a business. You know what I mean? And man, like I said, people are lazy, and some people don't understand, like, that's a lot of work. But once you get through the hard work, it begins to become easy. after you do it so much. You know what I mean? And I think that people don't dig deep into themselves and think it like that, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
What if you thought of it like this? No matter what you do, you're going to have to work,
Yeah.
right? So why not work for yourself? Why not? You know what I mean? In a sense, so I had another job to invest into a business I have now, right? So I'm working sort of two jobs, but I'm looking long term because I'm like, I'm gonna have to work for somebody. So why not be able to set myself up and then I can sort of control more of the different streams of revenue. You know
Right.
what I mean? So that's something just like say way of thinking. You're gonna have to work if you're gonna survive anyway. So just figure out the best way and how you want to work. You know what I mean? Like you said, we don't tomorrow's not promised. So you can't say, oh, I'm gonna live forever, but it's just one of those things that, oh, I want to have a certain kind of lifestyle, but yet I don't want to work for it. I want to be given, you know what I mean, you're handed to. That's not
Mhm.
gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I think
No.
that's one of the things that I just say work. Work is gonna happen. Why not
Yep.
work for yourself? You know?
Is it, they say choose your hard, right? Like making a lot of money is hard, but being broke is hard too.
Man, God.
Like, so choose it. And people talk to me all the time. They're like, my son likes to bring this up. Like, he was like, man, we were really poor. And like, he used to like tell me these stories, right? And it's just like, man, those times were hard. And then that's what I tell myself now when I'm complaining about stuff. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
the hard before
Yes.
was hard, right? Putting down a pack of meat that's only cents away from the other one, right? Because
Mhm.
that's what you
Yep.
had to budget. Like
Yep.
that was hard doing math that way.
Yep.
Now we're complaining about taxes and like we made too much money. We're not a good tax bracket. There's gonna be problems everywhere, but trust me, from somebody that literally came from zero, nothing. The problems that you have when you do have money is not the same as when you don't, because now you're incorporating the fact that you're not giving enough away. That's really the hardest part is after you're out of survival mode with just trying to pay your own bills and you start actually making money, then it's like, okay, I don't have enough to give away to the things that I want to give it away to.
Wow.
Right? So to me, that's what I think. Many people who can bet on themselves. This is a big thing. Can you bet on yourself? If you know that if nobody else got it, that you're the one that everything falls to, right? And you just got to make it happen. Those people right there need to be entrepreneurs right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's entrepreneurship. That's literally the success in entrepreneurship is if you're the type of person that, hey, there is no plan B, I am plan A, B, and C. You need to learn business because that's financial freedom right there. Business is the game of financial freedom, right? The score is money.
Yep.
The score is just money. So entrepreneurship to me, when people ask me, what is financial freedom? Like, it's entrepreneurship. You literally control how much money you make by the effort that you put in. And it is an equal trade-off every single time. If you're not making enough money, it's because you're not working hard enough or you're not working smart enough.
Yep.
Yeah, see, and somebody would say, "Oh man, I ain't finna go out and stand on the street and promote." It's like, I mean, for whatever you do, man, if you ain't going out on the street like to promote it, this is the most money you're gonna get. If you're not gonna go overboard to put yourself out there for that type of money, which you probably can get more if you go out just on the. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there what somebody probably could do if they're selling insurance, whatever, and they're the only one and they making mid-level and they got to do something over maybe a little bit, not overboard, but a little bit more for them to somebody to notice them or even for them to make more money. So that means if you got to go out on the street and shake your sign or if you got to, do whatever it is. And then you may think like, man, I'm doing this, I'm just doing it. And then all of a sudden you get 5 and 10 more people to invest or to help you out to whatever you was already doing, making mid-level. Now you're over that line, just by going out to the street, working harder, like you said, and just making that sign and just shaking it or whatever. You know what I mean? That's all it takes sometimes.
There is no success without the grind. Like, I don't understand why people don't get that. Like, you can't, you expect to not have a grind. And then there's a lot of ego that is put on that also. People look down on the person that's like really grinding hard and not caring about how they look during the grind, but they're the ones that are going to be successful.
And it's crazy because Coach Ashley told me, not in this financial way, but he told me like, yo, your life is finna change. Like, we finna go to London and your life is finna change. And he didn't have to be concrete and vivid, but what you said is kind of how he said it, like, you know what I mean? Like, ebonically. Like, it's going to change, bro. That's all. But everything that you're saying, Frankie, was in his, you know what I'm saying, his vision. Because as soon as we got out there, it was like, yo, if I had some, he was like, yo, if you had some t-shirts, you'd sell out right now. And then they had a t-shirt vendor who knew who I was. He said, yo, take my card, man. We could do something, you know what I mean? And they had people out there, just promoting a lot of different stuff. It was another group out there, a street ball team. They were walking around with their cameras and everything. And it was just like all of that, the promotion stuff. And I was just like, yo, now talking, it's like, man, Coach said it would change, but I didn't think it would change like this. But thinking that there were things that we did and the other things that I could have did, for my brand as well, it could have been double we're talking about the financial stuff, because we went to go train the school. We work with some kids at a school, and not only for coach's brand and my brand, but just the fact that the promotion stuff for those kids, and because a lot of those kids that we've never did this before, even their gym teachers, like, they've never had this before. So this is awesome that you coming through. So with those kids, we started giving stuff away. And then we start telling their parents, and then we tell the coaches, yo, bring us back out here. Now we give them, and this is Coach, and this is already in my long-term memory. Coach put all this together. Now they start giving us, certain things that financially we can take care of when we're out there. Then when we come back home and, whatever the case may be. And that could be started just at that one private school, and then it could go to another school, or within that private school. Now we got a group of kids because the parents liked it, or the gym teacher liked it. Now there's a lot of different stuff. And it's just starting with that one school. And we're not even talking about everything else that we did in London. And that's just one country. You know what I mean? So when Coach Ashley said that, all of that was going through my mind, because he mentioned the different countries we were going to. So I'm thinking like, yo, man, like, this is going to happen. And Coach is he's doing it. I know that he's doing it. He's slowly, but patiently taking my mind off of basketball, and not off of basketball so much of being there, but the playing part. And he's making me branch up into the business part of it. And because I notice that every time we talk now, it's more of this is what we need to do. This is what I need you to do, Cordell. So, and I'm paying attention to it. And it's good, though, because I need to start thinking that way. Because I can't play when I'm 50, but I can teach and train and give knowledge when I'm 50. I can do that forever. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I love about Coach. So, just getting that side, but still the fact that I'm playing, I can do all of that. And I need to get off my butt. And, just for me saying to some people, just the ego, and it's kind of like I don't have ego, but it's kind of like I do have one. I don't, but I kind of do, because Ballaholic is my alter ego. You know what I mean? Like, Cordell Butler is you know what I mean? But the alter ego of Ballaholic, it comes out when I play. It comes out when I see the fans. It comes out when I'm talking to them. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, I don't have them, but I kind of do. But just with that, like, even playing and teaching and all that, Coach is getting me into that process. So, like I said, the way you saying it, the way Coach has said it before, it's all making sense for me. But it's always good to hear it coming from someone like you, Frankie, who's been doing this forever. And every time you say something, it's concrete, vivid, and makes sense when we're talking about financial stuff and the things that people can afford and can't afford, what we want and what we need to do as far as putting money aside for certain things, and all of that stuff is just like, yo, like, that's like a part of that is kind of like, is me, like, dang, man, it's all right there. So all of this stuff,
go out of it when it comes to business and when it comes to finance stuff.
Yeah.
Because in business, if you talk to anybody that's successful, the regret is never what they did to get there. It's what they didn't do to get there. Right? They're like, man, I could have done more. That's the worst regret. It's never like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, because I don't say that very much. And I do a lot of off the wall things, right? But it's always like, I knew I could have done more.
Right.
You don't want to live with that, right? That's the worst feeling to have. So I think anything that we do, and I mean, I do this statistic with myself all the time. I said, what's the best that can happen? Rather than saying what's the worst that can happen with something, what's the best that can happen, right? You going out there to market a business that you believe in, that just not a lot of people have heard about it yet. They might think you're crazy for it, but what's the best that can happen? You can talk to somebody with the right mouth, that and the right connections and the right network, and everything kind of blows up. Yeah. Made Rich, this business, it just started with me. How many no's and doors shut in my face, and people that have ghosted me on appointments, or left me hanging. All that stuff is part of the game. But if you're really playing to win, then you know that the whole journey going there isn't going to be a win every single time. Right? It's and just coming to terms with that with yourself and saying, you know what, the journey is probably going to suck. It's going to hurt. It's going to expose me. Yeah. Right? But you just got to be real with yourself and say, but is what I'm doing this for, does that, all the stuff that I have to go through, is that worth giving up on it? Yeah. You guys have so much dreams of outreach. You have so many great visions of being able to help so many kids and so many people. That should be your driving factor on, let me get myself right so that I can put myself in the position to give more. Because if we don't put ourselves in that ownership of, I'm going to put myself in that position to either, create a legacy for my family or create a legacy for my brand, then who are you putting that ownership to? Who's going to do it if you don't? There's nobody better to do it than yourself. So
right.
And that's what I think all of us are in a position, and this is why we're on this platform. It's how many more people can we help? How many more families and kids can we change their lives, and what we're good at? So it's like, okay, well, that's a lot of ownership in ourselves. Like, okay, then we really have to do really well so we can help other people more.
So, quick question, Frankie. So have you ever dealt with someone who was like emotionally distraught and just have the you help them out there, good, yes, and all of a sudden it's like, they're crying, and then it's like, have you ever had clients like that, just very, very emotional? Yeah.
Emotionally, yes, but in a different way. I think emotionally, yes, in when you meet with a financial professional, we're going to dig. We're gonna find out, what your habits are with money, why you do certain things. I create a holistic approach when I do people's finances. I don't just look at numbers. 45 minutes of the meeting is me and you talking and getting to know each other. Because if I understand your habits, if I understand, if you have a savings account, I'm going to know when you touch it, what you touched it for, what are those factors that's going to have you kind of tempted to, stick your hand in that jar. I go through that whole approach with, finding out who somebody is. So there's plenty of appointments. I can even just tell you my last one. She was a 50-year-old woman. Her husband is 54 years old. They've been at the same jobs, him for over 30 years, her over 17 years, I want to say. So she's almost at retirement, right? They can't retire. I had them look at, so they've just been stashing money in the 401ks. They're like, yeah, money goes in it. And so when we were talking about it, and I was like, well, I need to help you plan for retirement because it's approaching soon. She's like, yeah, we're fine. We have 401ks. And I was like, okay, well, let's log into your account right now and I want to see it. And she's like, well, my husband has the majority of it. We're just going to retire off of his. He had $345,000 in his 401k, and they are assuming that they're going to retire. So me bringing that up and giving them the breakdown of, this is how much money you use every single month. 345,000. That's not even taking out the taxes of a 401k. You have 150 grand to retire on. You guys aren't retiring. So that type of just knowing the realization of that, because a lot of people just stash away and they just say, I'm doing it, so that's good enough. No, like you actually got to know what's going on with the money and track it and things like
Right.
that. So she was very upset about it just because she wishes somebody gave her that type of realization earlier. Maybe like when she's like 40 years old or something, or she's blaming it on the 401k company, didn't tell them, or the employer, not telling them or teaching them how to even utilize it.
Right, right.
Right. So there's a lot of emotion when it comes to that. But, I didn't tell her this, but this is really, it's our responsibility.
Is
If it's not us, then who?
yeah,
Mm.
that's true. That's true.
Somebody she gonna get scammed. Somebody gonna see that she, that age, and she gonna get that call. They're gonna call them. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you have won this. All I need is your account number. Or, yep, they're gonna see it.
And no, this is like I said for me, and I think this is another good an example of just being transparent and helping people through the struggles, as we say, the egos. That's why I'm like, hey, I need help in looking for a place. I need help to make sure that I have my a game plan in place. So when something does happen, because we don't live forever, that I know that my grandkids and my kids and wife, there's things that are left behind. You know what I mean? So it's just making sure you got things in order. You know what I mean? And that's just one of my things, especially you say as a man, as the head of a household and things like that. That I'm like, just that's some for a woman's standpoint, a security. You know what I mean? If you're with someone, you want to have some parameters in place that you say, okay, if something happens, I know that I just need to do A, B, and C, and this is gonna, you know what I mean. So I want to need your help in putting things together. You know what I mean. So I can sit back and be like, oh, okay, woo, you know what I mean. All this work I've been doing with the brand and all this protected. The finances is going where they need to go. But that was my thing too. We say building a legacy. I'm like, man, you know, what is the bigger picture? Like you said, okay, let me just keep going. When all hell it break loose, and you just be like, man, I'm done. But God give you the strength to keep going. And so one of them saying, okay, I want to leave a legacy. You know what I mean? I want something that'll take care of my family, my wife, my kids, my grandkids. And the Admiral brand will just continue to keep going, and it's changing communities. You know what I mean? So it's not just me getting, oh, you're making money. No, there's lives being changed. There's resources. There's different things that's happening. So that's where I believe I know that you're key because I just know how to make money. If you want to say, I don't know all this other stuff. So,
Hey, and that's why I'm like, damn, that makes sense. I don't know about everything, but the way how she's just saying how she defining it, you know what I mean? It's just like, yep, that's what I'm dealing with. That's what makes sense right there.
I'm going to give you guys, and so this could be like the topics kind of that we kind of focus on when we're doing things like this. So there's 4 pillars of wealth. 4 pillars of wealth. One is acquire, which we kind of talked about it now, right? Like what are ways to acquire money? So we can dive more into that in like, the next podcast, but how to acquire money. The second one is how to protect it. See, most people just stop at the one out of the 4 pillars. They're like, I just got to learn how to acquire money. Well, think about your financial foundation as like a table, right? It needs 4 legs to really be sturdy and really be strong. So acquire is one. The second one is protect. How do I now protect that wealth? Number 3 is grow. How do I grow that wealth? And then number 4 is how do I pass it along?
Yes.
Right?
Man.
So I think we should focus on like those 4 things because we can go into like little rabbit holes with each one. But as long as you really understand what those 4 mean and what strategies to support those 4 legs like look like for you, because everybody's is going to be different.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really how you can build that foundation and make it really strong. If just those 4 things. How do I acquire wealth? How do I protect wealth? How do I grow it? And how do I pass it on?
And it even from them 4 topics, it seems like you making money off of those 4 topics. How do I acquire? And then how do you keep it? It's like, you know what I mean? Is we making money off for all 4 of those topics. It's consistent. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's like you're going to be making. It's like getting more than what you're actually doing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm keeping it, I'm acquiring how I'm getting it, and I'm getting it. But then at that last one, it's like it's more after that fourth step topic. It's more because you did steps already. Yeah. Oh God.
You think
Like
about
a glove. Yeah.
think about it. We can get to the league, but that's how you stay in the league. You know what I mean? And then once you get in the league and stay in the league, then how you grow your wealth, because that it's going to change. You ain't getting that same paycheck when it's over.
Right.
You know, things change in the way you're living, and then to be able to pass it on. You know what I mean? So it's one of those. If you think about our game and our industry, to try to put it into play, you say, okay, well, most of us when we got into the game, 4 pillars. What? We're just looking at it. We're gonna make it
and spend it.
Yep. That's it. So yes, no, this is gonna be good. We're gonna get homework assignments and all that stuff too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. You know. Yeah. No. I did. This could be a start right here.
Yeah. Some exercises to like after the podcast. Like, yeah, I love that idea. I think that's great. I think that's that's a good way of us being able to like secretly kind of build our financial literacy.
Right. Yep.
I'm all for steps. I love that. Okay. That sounds great.
Yes, we're gonna do that because I'm sure this is gonna grow. I have no doubt this is gonna grow, and there's gonna be people that's gonna have questions and things like that, and they're gonna be able to follow along. And I'm just excited because I'm one of those like guys who like wisdom. You know what I mean? Say, all right, God help me to grow in wisdom and understanding, so I know how to maneuver, especially so talking about business and things like that. And so having a business where I'm saying, okay, well, I got this stream, I have this brand, I have so many different brands, and they all work together. And you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that I really like. I guess you can say I'm low key. I was one of those. I was pretty smart. School wasn't that hard. I like school. So this is gonna be fun. I'm all excited. I'm like, yes, I'm back in school again, Cordell. That way I can use my glasses. I gotta get it right, man. You know what I mean? She's gonna get me on my game. I'm telling y'all.
Oh man, Coach Craig.
I'm excited about that because it's like if you don't understand how the game is played when it comes to either business or your finance stuff, then people are playing with you. You know what I mean? Like you don't even know that they're playing game on you if you don't really understand it.
Man.
And that's what I'm saying. This is why this is so big, because and where we're going, Ballaholic and myself with our show and just the Street Baller Pro, we're gonna be sitting down with people. You know what I mean? And we're going to have to talk numbers. We're going to have to talk business. And I want to know exactly what's going on. You know, right now, you'd be like, yeah, it sounds good. But we don't know, like, the details that, this really means this and that. You're only really getting this much. You know what I mean? We just so happy a big number, sign it. Right. So that's what we're on, Ballaholic. So I'm going to make sure you're doing your homework, bro.
Yeah. No, I need to. I mean, like I said, I have to. That's another challenge that I love challenges, and I love like thinking outside the box a lot of the times. You know what I mean? And I always like another part of my brain opens up when that happens. I've had done so much other things. It's like I want to try something different that's going to open up another part of my brain that's going to make something else better. So I'm with it. I'm all in.
Athletes are the best business owners and entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Even in finance, athletes are actually one of my favorite clients. Like maybe not like the super, super big athlete, but because you guys are coachable. You're so coachable. Right. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to teach you the fundamentals, keep these fundamentals good, right? Yeah. Everything kind of escalates from there, but we always want to keep these fundamentals, strong. And it's just kind of like, okay, but once you break it down in those kind of concepts, then you know that you got to put the work in over and over and over and over again.
Right. And just you explaining it, it makes it like, if you just try it, because I know at some point, me and my girl talked about it. I'm gonna be a homeowner. Like I want to buy a house. I definitely want to buy a house. So just trying it and just hearing all this is like, this is the first step. It's like, they say, but they say in the NBA, you get the 0 step. The 0 step is the first step.
Okay.
So this is our 0 step, coach, with Frankie D. You know what I mean? Then the next one gonna be step 1, step 2. I mean, so yeah.
That's gonna be fun. Oh, I forgot to say, I have a wealth fundamentals class actually on the 16th of this month at 2 p.m. So I'm gonna give you guys the flyer for that.
For March
16th at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay, March 16th.
And I think this is gonna be like a good class to like
Is
go
it-
through before we go to like the first episode or the next episode of the
Oh, okay. All right.
So that'll be the first homework assignment is going to be to attend this webinar and get the fundamentals of money, because it's kind of hard to do it like on a podcast because the visuals and things like that. So I'll do all the visuals in a webinar.
Okay.
All right. Is it on? It's a Zoom, right? Zoom link.
Yeah. It's going to be a Zoom. It's going to be webinar style. So nobody's going to know who's on. So it's totally anonymous. Okay. And there's no camera on. There's no microphone. So you can sit back, chill. I have some people that put it on the big screen at their house and kind of just learn that way. In the car, or actually don't do it in the car. That's kind of not very safe. But you know what I mean? Like no one's going to see you. So why not get the information? I'll keep it short too. It'll be like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but it's wealth fundamentals. It's okay. Let me know the basics first before you start trying to learn about investing and business. And that's too much. You're too far if that's what we're thinking about already when it comes to finance. So let's take it back. Let's talk about the fundamentals. And then from that point on, I think our conversations following is going to be a lot easier to understand. Right. Because that's why people don't like finance people, because they're like, they just talk and it goes over my head and I don't understand. That's what the wealth fundamentals class is for, is so that what they say to you, like I have my clients read Forbes articles after they go through this 30, 45-minute class and they understand what Forbes is saying on there. So it's going to be really, really powerful and information that you're going to use from now on, like into the future and how you think about money. So I think that's great. Okay. Homework assignment 1.
Okay, yes.
All right, March 16th. March 16th.
At 2 p.m. Pacific time.
We're going to be in Japan, but I'm going to see what the time is, because we leave on the 10th. We get there 11th until the 18th. And so, but send it to us. We're going to promote it, and I'm going to see what time it translates for us to get on. You know what I mean? I am so excited, because it's one of those, you think about it, you talk about it, but now you finally stepping up and you're doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, all right. It's like I've been telling myself, I got to get back in the gym. I train everybody else, but I need to get back in the gym. And so, tomorrow I'm getting up, I'm going to the gym, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it.
We want an accountability post or picture or whatever that is when you get in that gym, because I think that's the best. Now you're doing it for everybody else.
Yes. Like, look.
Hey, and quiet as kept, coach. I mean, you step on the court in Japan, man. I love to see that. Hey, I ain't mad. I definitely agree to that. As soon as you say, man, I'll be like, oh, yes. I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't ask you, like, coach, throw a jersey on.
Man.
Throw on a jersey.
They've been trying to get me out, and I've been feeling it. Like I said, her son played for me at Ridgetop, and you know how it is. They get all excited and get talking. I still got a little game left. I still got a little game. So, make me get out there just for, as they say, for the gram. One time.
One time. Yeah, picture didn't happen. Right.
Right.
Right. I'm like, man. So we have our homework assignment. Okay. What do you have coming up outside of that? That's the webinar. You have anything else coming up?
Ooh, yeah. Let me man, we just had a board meeting yesterday. So we also have so I'll put a list out
Okay.
of all of these things. We are doing a retirement class for real estate agents. You know, real estate agents, no one takes care of them when it comes to retirement. So we're going to help them kind of, with their, general information on that. We also have on March 9th, military and money. So we're going to teach military about money things that, is kind of specific to that group. So military people, family members, things like that. We're going to dive into their retirement plans as well and kind of teach them more about it, which is awesome. And then March 15th, we have a children's savings webinar, which is, yeah, so that's going to be kind of like a little piece of like a webinar that we are going to start doing in person for the parents and family members of the kids that are part of the Admirals team. So,
wow.
yeah.
So what is it? Is it kids of what is it a certain age or it's just like
just all general information on how to save for children. And like we talked about this at one of the meetings one time. I'm like, if they're at practice for an hour and a half, like let's teach them something while they're here, if they're here anyways, So we're going to start doing that, which we're excited about, because in person is a different energy than online. Like online is convenient, but when you get to teach people things like in person, like that's my favorite thing. So we're excited to be able to work with the families of this organization and, and the kids. You guys are helping the kids and stuff like that. We're going to help at home.
Right.
That's where it started, That's the foundation. So I love it. Now it got me all excited. I'm like, all the parents that are listening, I told you it was bigger than basketball. Here is one of the classes that we're bringing to you. Thank you, Made Rich. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just put that out there.
Right, we can use that. Yeah, coach. Definitely use that. Right. All right.
Awesome. But like for all the people that are listening too, like I would love if they shot out, topics, webinar topics. That could be topics on the podcast, like certain things. And then we'll kind of look over it and see like what topics would be, of good discussion or something that's like pretty popular that we see.
Yes. So, right. And and that's what we want. Yeah. Whoever's tuning in, please, in the comments, put it in there. Things that you would love to hear us talk about, things that you might need answers for, especially when we talk about financial stuff. Frankie D from Made Rich, she'll definitely put you on game with that. So definitely reach out to us, please.
Right. I'm excited about that because I want to teach you guys stuff that is actually going to make your guys' situations better. Right? Specific to the people that are listening to it, because there's a lot of noise. And so just being able to have a specific game plan for yourself or know the information that's going to be best for you, like that's what we're going to really focus on. So webinars also, depending on what the topic is and how many people want that topic, I can also do webinars in April. April is actually Financial Literacy Month. So I'm going to be doing a lot of webinars in April, a lot of classes to make sure that we can get that literacy out to
Frankie, check your schedule. April 2nd and 3rd. So Ballaholic and the Pharmacist, we're going to do a spring break camp out here for the kids.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. So we'd love to get with you if you're available. You come in and help. It's going to be 2 days, 3-hour blocks, and we're going to need some talking and teaching pieces, and we'd love to make that work.
I love that. Absolutely. You're on my schedule.
Cool. Love.
Great. We're going to have a busy April then. I'm excited for that.
Yes. That's the whole plan, is really continue to change one house, as you say, bring Wall Street to Main Street. Yeah, change one house at a time, and I just think of all the different families that we're associated with, and just the people that we know that follow us just throughout the world. Just the information that you're giving is so needed. You know what I mean? When you start to do statistics, I'm like, man, I never really looked into statistics in that area. You know, you just sort of be like, okay, if I don't look at it, it don't exist. No, it does exist. You know, by the way, it still exists. And that's what we're doing. We're really created a platform. We'll be on for an hour. You can ask if it's not Frankie, whoever's on her team that'll be here, be able to ask all these questions, grab some stuff that you have questions on and bring it to her. You know what I mean? And let's see what we can do together and just really continue to build one another, because that's one of the
Right.
biggest things too that we don't have enough of, is actually trying to build one another. We're always trying to tear down. So just had to throw that out there. It's been an hour, and I don't want to continue to. Thank you for all those who are watching, who have been watching. That's the good part. I can see some eyeballs and things like that. So we do appreciate it, and we know that this is going to be seen even after we log off. But we will be back the 4th March. I don't know what the date is. The 4th Monday,
The 25th.
the 25th.
25th.
We will be back on the 25th. So have your questions. There's homework. So be looking out. We're going to be promoting not only on our site, but on Made Rich, IG, Facebook. If we see it, we're sharing it. You know what I mean? So just be on the lookout. There's a lot of classes that's coming out. I'm an ex-military person myself, a vet. That's something that's great to hear. You know what I mean? What you're doing with the military. So it's a lot of those things that I can say I wish I would have took advantage of back then, but it's one of those wish, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But now we're talking about now, and I can deal with today. You know what I mean? So let me grab hold of it and do what I can now. So that's a little bit. Is forget about the past. What can you do now? And you got the resources that's in front of you. So please take advantage of it, because I know I am, because I got grandkids, kids, and a wife, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So anything for you, Ballaholic, man, before you get up? I know you got work tomorrow.
Yeah, no, nothing. Again, Frankie D, is always a pleasure when you hop on and make things more, like I said, when you break it down, it's more concrete and vivid when you talk about financial stuff and, things that people are dealing with and how you just put it together. It just makes sense. So I'm like, again, and the way things are going, I'm just, again, I'm trying to invest in getting me a home, and I'm definitely going to need all the little stuff that I don't know, what I need to know. You know what I mean? So, yeah, looking forward to the seminar, looking forward to meeting you and just getting more, informative information about just investment, just financial stuff. That's all I'm open. That's what I'm really like, because then my brain I could start thinking about other stuff, but I need that though for sure.
So I did, before we get off, here's something, a request. My man, Zach, shout out to him. He said, do a webinar on BOLI. So bank-owned life insurance. Teaching individuals how to become your own bank, borrow money against the insurance company, and have the ability to self-fund your business endeavors whenever. So that's something that he would like to see.
Oh my gosh. His name is Zach?
Yes.
Okay. Zach, we are going to get in contact with you off of the webinar, but I want to send you this book. This is one of my favorite books right here. You mentioned that that strategy. You're going to love this book. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to read, but it will give you such great information about that very topic that you talked about. But absolutely, I would love to do a webinar on that. So I'll put that on the schedule too, and I'll let you guys know. But he's spitting some good game right now. He's talking about the Rockefeller family.
Yeah, no. Look, he did. He said, he have that book. He said, I have it.
Wow. That's
okay,
crazy.
I'll find another one to give you, but I mean, so he knows, like, that's a great book. It's an amazing strategy. That's actually the best strategy from last year when I was MVP. That was the strategy that I actually taught the most people about.
Got you.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's what happens when things come together like that. You never know, other people on the same thing, and it's crazy. He said he read it 4 times already. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. And Zach, that's my guy. I'm telling you, he's the owner of the Seattle Transformers. I'm blessed to work with him, and I'm telling y'all, one of the smartest people that I get to work with, that I'm I know, especially when you come to the basketball world, you meet a bunch of different owners and how they put it together. But like I'm sitting here, shout outs to you, and he knows always
Mhm.
things. I'm like, golly, you're thinking the little details, everything, how he put it all together. It's amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm excited he's going to be coming on as a guest. Once everything is ready to go. So once he launches, and so people will get to meet him. But he's one of the bright minds that I know. You know what I mean? So he's been talking to me about this. I don't know. You know what I mean? So it was dope. Like, when we throw it here, you're like, oh yeah. I'm like, yo, I knew he was on to something. You know what I mean? But this is just the thinking. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of company, you know, uh, as y'all can see, I hang with. But it's just saying, this is dope. I'm excited. I want to learn about these things. Yes. So webinar comes at, and I know you're gonna be on that mug because you know all the ins and outs, sir. Trust me, he does. He's very smart. So,
Yeah.
anything before we get off, my man?
Nothing. No, nothing at all. I'm just, I'm ready for Japan. That's all I can say. I'm ready for Japan. After the call we had today, that's
Yeah,
all. Yeah, man. I'm ready to get out there now. And I think even just talking to Frankie just boosted it a little bit. Now I'm really going to get into the promotion side and really sell it while I'm out there. You know what I mean? Really, really sell Ballaholic. Like it's time to bring out the goofy, cool, the little kid side of me a little bit. Have some fun with the fans and everybody out there.
Right.
So,
What's the best that can happen?
yeah,
right.
yeah.
What is the best that can happen? So we're excited to hear about that when you get back because you went out with that mentality. Like,
Yeah. London kind of was the cool, nonchalant, little bit emotional Ballaholic, but this time it needs. I need to bring it out. The and one ball. I got to bring it out. Circus clown. I got to bring that out. Yeah.
Like I told you, you're back.
Yeah.
And you're back, and God put a great team around you, like financial people and mentors and all of these great. I mean, this is our team, so that's the beauty of it, right? So it's like you're constantly learning, and you got the right people around you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's looking out for not just right now, long term for your kids, for you know what I mean. So I think that's the beauty of it all is just like you know that's what anything new, because everybody always promise you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But then
Right.
only time will tell. And I believe that's what has happened, especially with the things you have been through with basketball. So now to be like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, now we're doing like, bro, I need you to maximize the revenue as she's teaching us. We need several streams of income, and I need that. You know what I mean? That's how I am.
Right.
We got these streams, and we need to maximize it. And that's where she comes in. So you get to see all of it, and you get to know it for yourself. That's the most important part. I'm a big believer of let me teach you how to fish. You know what I mean? Instead of me, I'm feeding you. No, I need you to learn how to take care of it, and so you can teach the next person, and you can take care, your own business, and we can grow. And so no. Salute to you. I've been watching you, like, all right, slowly but surely coming around. Like, okay, we doing it now. We doing it. Hey, Rich, so thank you, Frankie. We got a lot of advertisements, a lot of things that's going to be coming out. Me and you, of course, going to be talking. Send me the calendar invite so I can get on that, and then, of course, we'll think about what we talked about our pre-meeting. You know what I mean, and what you want to do, and we'll talk business on that side as well. So, any shout outs, anything you would like to say before we go?
Shout out to the people who in this year in 2024 you promised yourself that you were gonna get you're gonna be a different version of yourself. I've done a lot of appointments right now with people, and like the amount of energy that I'm getting from people right now and how excited they are about 2024. Like, shout out to those people, and they're so inspiring. So if that's not you, it's not too late, right? Chinese New Year just finished. So to me, it's like another new year, right? Like, You owe that to yourself. You worked that hard to be where you're at. Like, might as well be the best version of yourself this year. So, I
Right.
those people.
Exactly. Yep.
I love it. Hey, we want to say thank you all again for tapping in. I don't know. I'm sure we'll have somebody sometime this week. I don't know who we're gonna have on what Sunday. We normally do Sunday, Monday. Something come up in the middle of the week. But get your questions together. We will be back on the 25th of
Yep.
March.
25th.
25th of March, we will be back. Money Talk. But you don't have to wait until the 25th. You know what I mean? If you want to talk to Frankie, please hit up Made Rich, make an appointment. You know what I mean? Ask any questions. It's free to ask questions and find out what's going on. So it's not like, oh, I got to spend money just to get
Right.
questions answered. You know what I mean? So talk with her. And we're just saying on the 25th, we got homework assignments. We better have questions, you know, all of that stuff. Because Frankie's going to be ready to give us, you know, to teach and give us some wisdom to really help change our lives. So thank you, Frankie, for the love. Thank you for making this possible for us. And, you know, Ballaholic, you know, I always got to appreciate you for always showing love as well. You know,
All right. Yep.
you got going on. And everybody, we thank y'all. I mean, I love it when I see eyes stay consistent. You know what I mean? And we have quite a few. I'm like, this is something good. So this
Yep.
is a good segment. So that's what we know about this segment. So it might have to grow. We never know. But we're going to keep going back and see what's up. All right. I guess I'm better go home or go home. I am home. Go ahead. You know? Hey, thank you all. Salute from
Salute.
Street Ball to Pro. Until next time. Bye, Frankie.
See you later, Frankie. See you later. All right. All right, coach.
All right, man.
Right.